Welcome, everyone. I'm going to share a few words in a few moments. Healthy billionaire. I love your name. Yes, let's tune in. Hi, forever loving everything. So, a warm welcome to Healthy Billionaire, forever loving everything. I mean, you two have such cool names. And to everyone else who's joining in live. So as I shared in a video yesterday, one thing that's really on my mind lately with this path is how to stay connected to God throughout the day, not just in taking formal times to stop and sit and tune in. And I shared an experiment. I'm curious to hear back from people how it goes, and that's to tune in while you're walking in between rooms in your house. It's been very fruitful for me. And another thing that's been on my mind and heart is how to prepare for tuning in. One thing that Bruno often shared was about separating ourselves from problems, handing problems over to him or to God. He also gave another very interesting suggestion for how to prepare to tune in, and that's to think of something that makes you happy. Now that's very interesting. I have to confess it's not something I've done a lot of. I've definitely done the handing over, but I'm starting to explore the thinking about something that really brings me joy, and also to remind myself of a deep spiritual truth, whether it be something like nothing is impossible for God, to really prepare the mind. I've been rereading some quotes of Bruno's, and one that he talks about is freeing the soul so that it can receive the divine message. Bruno had so many interesting words to describe whatever it is we're receiving. He didn't just call it the Heilstrom. He called it transmission. I just found this one, which I wasn't aware of, the divine message, the power, the life stream. Someday I want to make a list because he called it by a lot of different names, and some of them are very poetic. And so the idea is, of course, that God is always sending whatever we want to call it. And then in tuning in, we want to receive this. It's like we're in the ocean, but it's like we're not noticing that we're wet. It's like we're surrounded by the power of God and God, but it's like I forget to notice, and I think many of us do. Going throughout our day, it's like get occupied with other things. Part of that is habit, which Bruno spoke about, and part of it is our will gets engaged in other things. And part of it, I think, is just straight up a habit of focusing on material things and focusing on our thoughts and losing that sense of connection. And as Bruno often said, part of it is our souls get covered over by evil. Now, Bruno was adamant the soul doesn't get tainted. The soul remains pure. but that purity sure can get obscured. So it's very interesting to think about tuning in on all these different levels. One level is tuning in to remove impurities. Another level is tuning in to feel that connection with God. Another level, which is a little mystical but very poetic, is to recognize that God is all around us and within us and constantly showering us with the divine transmission, the divine blessing, with peace. I just read a quote the other day when Bruno said, "Take in the peace," so that peace may permeate all aspects of your life. So it's kind of this thing of like, if you think of God as like this giant cloud that's above us, but it's a happy cloud. Oftentimes clouds have a negative connotation, right? But a good cloud that's pouring down rain on us, we've got up this big umbrella. Like God's constantly pouring this divine rain on us, but we've got an umbrella up. Again, sometimes it's habit, sometimes it's distraction, sometimes it's evil we've taken in the past, sometimes it's evil we're taking in the present moment. Bruno talked about how if we get into anger, that we're literally taking evil into our bodies. That's why he was so adamant to people to not get angry, to be mindful of anger. So it's like we've got this umbrella up, like God's like showering us with love and peace and healing energy. And we've like got this umbrella up and we're like, come on, God, where are you? It's kind of ironic and a little tragic. So what to do? What to do about this tragic, odd situation where God's like pouring out goodness and we're like, got our umbrella up. Maybe we have a wetsuit on too. We've got like layers of insulation against God. Well, for myself, all I know to do is to practice, to accept that I'm on a journey, a spiritual journey, and that this journey isn't just this lifetime, but it goes on for lifetimes. And it's a process of what Bruno called sanctification, of being made pure and maintaining faith that when the healing doesn't happen as quickly as I want, or the peace isn't here as often as I want, or I don't feel connected to God as often as I want, that it's a process, it's a journey, and it's a learning journey. And these things that I think are problems, and they are on one level, and on another level, they're learning opportunities that are orchestrated by God. So, in my experience of tuning in, there's all these interesting sensations that happen, like tingling, or I often feel warmth. Some people feel cold. This feeling of flow, like I feel energy moving through different parts of the body. But there's something beyond that that I don't quite have words for. Peace feels close, this special sacred feeling that just leaves me feeling whole and complete and good and filled up. And in fact, the word Heilstrom it's not a German word. Bruno combined two German words. And the word Heil actually means, it has many meanings, but whole, complete, untouched. are some of the meanings of Heil. And that kind of speaks to this wholeness, this completion, but it has a sweetness to it as well. Untouched, as if all the painful things from the past didn't really touch me. I'm not saying they didn't happen, not saying they didn't have effect, but in that communion, union with God, that closeness, which Bruno German words Verbindung, another poetic word, it's like none of that stuff. It's like it's just gone. Again, not denying it happened, but in that feeling of closeness with God, it's as if it didn't happen. It's very precious, very, very precious. So I think that's all I have to share today. If anyone would like to share what they're feeling right now, if anyone has any questions or would like to share any ideas of Bruno that are coming to mind right now. All right, no comments. So I'm going to interpret that as people are feeling very connected to the divine. So I wish everyone a very blessed day. Thank you so very much for joining in. Actually, though, I'm going to close with some very special news. Or special to me. It's very small, but special. So I had a wart on my left foot for the longest time. It's been there for almost 2 years. And I tried various things. I tried this particular ointment that I had understood that could be helpful, and nothing. And then I was quite annoyed by it, actually, even though it was a little thing, even though it wasn't discolored. So it was, I assume, a benign wart, but I just didn't like it. And it was on this part of my foot where I would see it often. And I was kind of annoyed about it for like a year. And I was using this ointment. And then I just finally stopped using the ointment, and I just stopped thinking about it. And lo and behold, I was just rubbing my foot the other day, and I didn't feel a bump. It is gone. It's gone. I'm rubbing right now I'm like leaning down and rubbing where it's like, yep, that's where it used to be. The beautiful thing about this path is we don't know all the things that Bruno Groening and this divine power is doing for us. It can take care of, heal things that we didn't even ask for help with. And I did ask for help with it, and then I just forgot about it I probably haven't really thought about it for like maybe 6 or 9 months. I'm not sure exactly. So thank you, God, and thank you, Bruno. And healing sometimes take time. Thank you so very much for joining in. I wish everyone a blessed, blessed day. Take care.